What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 126. I am Anthony Trapani. I am your host, as always, on Thursday nights live on Twitch. If you don't catch it on Thursdays, then Friday it will be uploaded on YouTube. And as always, I'm here with a couple of resident homies. I got Casey Howard and Joseph K with me. What up?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging with me tonight. And dude, tonight I'm really excited about this because I've been a fan of this dude for at least 15, 16, maybe even 17 years. Lethargy is still currently a very important band to me. Sulaco. Actually, Eric, we didn't even mention this pre-pod, but we were label mates at one point in 2006, 7,
With
8.
what, Willow Tip?
Yep, exactly. I was me and Casey's my drummer. I'm the vocalist of Odious Mortem, and also Severed Savior signed a year later, so we were all
right.
on the same label roster for a while. So
For a moment, yeah.
Totally, and that's how I came across Solaco, and I fell in love with that band as well. I love everything that I've listened to this week that I didn't know that you had been about.
Oh, cool,
AKA,
man. Thank you very much.
Burke Diamond.
I had to spill some of that shit to you, man. That shit's funny.
Dude, I grew up listening to Neil Diamond because my grandma was a big fan. Anytime I'd go up to her house for the holidays or whatever,
yeah,
it would be these are the three things that would be on that TV. Pro wrestling for my papa. He was all about pro wrestling.
yeah.
Figure skating, because she was all about figure skating, and Neil Diamond live.
Yeah, live at the Greek.
Dude, it was great, dude. And
course.
Listening to that project actually gave me a nice happy feeling, because one, it's fucking good.
Yeah,
You
thanks.
could tell you really are into it. And
Well,
two,
it was one of the first shows I ever went to was Neil Diamond. I think I was like 5 years old, maybe, or something. My father
that's
brought me.
rad,
So,
dude. That's
yeah.
so sick, dude. And just nostalgia for me too, because
Yeah,
you're bringing
yeah.
me right back to when I was in the living room with my grandparents, you know,
Yeah, me too. Watching the
learning how
jazz
to
singer.
yo-yo.
Yeah,
But cool, dude. Hey, Eric, thank you so much for your time, dude.
of course. Of
Um,
course.
yeah, you're great to me.
Thank you.
And I before we do anything, we got to do the plug section real quick. Always on top, battleforgecoffee.com. The homies and Deeds of Flesh started that company. It's caffeine. Everybody drinks it, and
Nice.
it's good shit. All right, go support them. Generator rehearsalstudios.com. And between LA and San Diego, you want to rehearse, you got some metal dudes over there that will take you in. CaliDeathPodcast.BigCartel.com is where you can get a shirt or two. We got a couple different designs over there that you guys can support the show by purchasing, and we send them worldwide, and they come straight from the professor himself. CaliDeath.com. Yes, we own CaliDeath.com. That is where you will get information about the show. You can find what I just said about the merchandise, but also Joseph's been blogging over there too. That's going to be moving quick. Chicago Domination Fest. We are a sponsor of that, and I know that we had mentioned a contest, and I know that we haven't really said much about it this week, but I promise you, we wanted to mention it a couple of times on the show. It will be mentioned on social media as well. So if you want to be in the know on that, you need to be on our social media. If you're not yet, that's Cali Death Podcast Facebook, Cali Death Podcast Instagram. Yeah, I already mentioned YouTube. Tours, Archaics tour.
Oh
wait, sorry.
yes.
Archaics tour. They're fucking going out. I took off my glasses. I can't even see the first date.
I'll cover the tours if you want.
Do it, please.
Okay. Archaic, May 11th through 28th with First Fragment, Awaken Providence, and Grey Lotus. To catch that tour along the West Coast and looks like the South, Texas and such. And then I'm heading out with The Last of Lucy and our label mates Discordia, June 1st through 16th, featuring both bands. East Coast or Eastern U.S., so starting in Missouri, going through Midwest all the way out to East Coast, and TBD show June 7th. Anyone in New York wants to book a band or a tour package, hit me up. But yeah, we got a good little run coming up. So Last of Lucy, I literally just got the test masters from David Taro an hour ago, and I was listening on the way home. They sound really sick, and we're
I'm sure they do, dude.
premiere some stuff between now and the start of the tour. Hopefully we'll get like at least one single out. You know how it is these days. You get the lyric video to promote the first single. So got to get an artist to make some backgrounds for the words and all that. So
yeah, dude, that's actually the first time you'll ever see the Professor performing on the East Coast too, right?
yeah, Chicago's the furthest out so far. So
wow, dude. And I've seen him in person. It's a pleasurable experience watching this man play drums. So get the fuck out there.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Looking forward to the tour in general. So that's all. That's all the plugs.
That's good for us. All right, Erik, what about you, dude? Where do you want people to go to support you and your projects?
I have no idea. I don't know. I guess our Facebook, maybe. I think we have a website. We have a Bandcamp that's got all our shit on it.
The Sulaco?
Yeah, Solaco. I have a Bandcamp. It's got some of my solo project shit on it. It's Sully, the new band that I'm playing in. We got some shit on YouTube, and I think there's a label that's gonna release our demo and is gonna put out our record.
Yeah, because I was gonna say in my
I forget what they're called.
In my
Horror, Pain,
research
Gore,
with Sully.
Oh yeah, Horror, Pain, Gore, Death.
Yep.
Oh no shit, sick.
Yeah.
Sully, I could only find like live jam videos or whatever. I didn't dig too deep, but I was trying to find some Sully stuff, and that's really I could find is just videos of you jamming riffs or whatever.
Oh yeah, we got I just uploaded our demo. We just finished it actually just a couple weeks ago. And there's a YouTube for it. It's got like a Sully page, and there's 4 songs, but it came out pretty good. The songs aren't necessarily played perfectly, but it sounds. I think it captures what we're going for.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it sounds good. So look for it there. I'll send you a link actually.
Killer. And then another band that was on the flyer that we want to plug too is I know that there's a W in the beginning, but I don't know if it's going to be
Wald Hexen.
Wald. Okay, so it is.
Yeah, Wald Hexen.
Okay. Wald Hexen, dude.
Yeah,
I'm super into black metal, super into abstract shit. I love avant-garde. I love dissonance. I love all these things, and listening to that band hit a lot of those marks for me. And then finding out they recently opened up for Imperial Triumphant. Did you play on that gig?
No, I just joined the band.
Okay.
I'm not on any of the recordings or anything. I just I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
No shit.
And,
okay.
Yeah, so my first gig with them is at the end of May.
Nice.
And it's with the band I was in that was called Blurring. Danny Lilker was the bass player in it.
Yeah.
And
you drummed in it, right?
Yeah, I played drums in that, and that has the same guitar player that's in Wald Hexen now. So it's kind of a similar style, and it also has the same singer that was in Blurring as well. Wald Hexen's singer moved out of town, So then they got Blurring singer, and then now they got Blurring's drummer. So now we almost sound like Blurring.
Well, I was I was pleasantly surprised because you know, I've been a Lethargy fan for so many years and Sulaco fan for so many years. Um,
Thank
to
you.
hear that style of music as a project presented for Erik Burke to be a part of, it was just something that was a cool little right hook for me because it's something like I love weird black metal, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and hear a dude from another weird realm of my listening, you know,
yeah,
not
yeah,
career, but you know, just like the group of artists that I've accumulated over the years in my bubble to for you to be like, "Oh, I think he's really fucking sick over here. Oh shit, he's in this other really sick thing that totally is not at all like part of this, but you can adapt to that." And
yeah,
I love an artist that can move like a chameleon through
yeah. I do my
his
best with the
his or her.
drums. I mean, I grew up playing drums, watching Braun, and Braun, I watched him go from being a good drummer that I saw in his first band, Evisceration. Well, it was his second band, actually, I think. And I was like, man, that dude's gonna be good, and
Hmm.
and then that band broke up, and my band broke up, and we hooked up, and I got to see him. You could see his progression through the demos, and while he played, I was trying to pick up little things that he was doing,
Right.
not necessarily to the fierceness that he has, but just like little things here and there. And uh, he gave me my first drum set. It was, when he got his new kit, he gave me his old one, which was great. And I always had a great fondness for death metal drummers because they're fucking amazing to watch. I mean,
Hell yeah.
uh, there's just I could watch killer guitar players all day, but
Hmm.
something about a drummer, and um, he has great style. There's a lot of great drummers from this town that have done some pretty awesome things, and everyone's had their own unique take on uh, on brutal drumming. So it's pretty sweet.
For sure.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
would chime in. Just
go for
Braun.
it, dude.
So is it Bran or Braun?
Braun,
Braun,
yeah.
huge influence on me, and through the early Mastodon records, and I got to catch them live on the Ozfest that they did in like '05 maybe,
Oh, nice.
and so that was when I was 15 years old. So that was around the time you're like maximally taking in stuff. So
Hmm.
yeah, just the
Yeah, oh,
ability to
yeah.
just. And I didn't actually hear Lethargy until this week, so it was cool to finally get to
Oh,
hear where he
nice.
came from. So
Cool.
yeah,
That
I'm
rules.
trying to bring it to the youngins, Eric, dude.
Slowly but surely. That's
if
okay. It's
if
never too late to come to the party.
if you want me to check out your band, have Anthony invite them on the pod, and I'll
Perfect.
yeah.
Dude, all right. This is fucking great, dude. So, Eric, I love to ask this question to you. Think about the earliest moment, the memory that you can conjure up right now for us where you're a child and music really isn't something that's important to you yet, but something happens. You listen to something. Maybe it's Neil Diamond. Maybe it's somebody else that your parents are listening to in the house, but something happens to where you're forced, your attention is forced towards it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
it pulls you out of whatever you're doing, and it's the the earliest melody or something you can think about that would have pushed you on the journey that you're on.
It might even be Neil Diamond. I mean, I went one of my earliest memories was being at this concert with my father, and it was in Buffalo. And Neil Diamond was playing America and had fucking cannons going off in the fucking auditorium or the stadium or whatever wherever it was, and it was so loud. It was really close
Yeah.
to where me and my father were sitting, and it scared the shit out of me.
Right.
And I went out just in the hallway and to get away from it because it was so loud. And there was another woman out there, and she was talking to me. She goes, "It's so loud, isn't it?" You know, and I'm like, "Yeah, you know." I mean, it was something like that, you know, to that. But I always remember that. And then a few years later, I think it was in '82, was when Jazz Singer came out, and I used to watch it all the time. And the songs that are in the movie are they're fucking awesome. And I used to know them inside and out, and I would sing them all the time, you know. And uh, Neil's melodies and his voice, you know, and I don't know, there was just something about it that I got into, and I didn't necessarily get in to the music aspect of it. I guess it was more just the story that was going on in the movie, and then all the songs that were built around it. It was pretty cool.
Totally. So,
and Aerosmith's "Dream On," it used to scare the fucking shit
nice.
out of me.
What about it would scare you?
Yeah, I just thought it was
Just
creepy.
like
I don't know.
it was
Maybe
like
maybe I had a
haunting.
nightmare.
It was a haunting
Yeah.
sounding.
That
It kind of is as
that
haunting.
Steve
It
Earle's
is.
is pretty you
Yeah.
know, interesting.
It lingers when you're a kid. I don't know. Like I just have this image in my head. Something
Screech.
about that fucking thing, and there's like a fucking face. Maybe it's Steven Tyler's weird fucking face.
Yeah.
It might
I
be.
don't know.
Yeah.
He's got a
Scary
weird
looking.
face.
Well, Dream
I don't
On was
know.
like screaming too, kind of in it. So you're probably like, what, you know?
I think he was going off. Maybe it was the first time I ever heard screaming like that. I don't even know,
Yeah.
but it's I don't know. It's the only really Aerosmith song I got into. I guess.
So okay,
Yeah.
so what was your parents' jam though? Like what kind of stuff were they listening to that you linked on to? Because everybody has a few, you know.
It was more my mom and my stepdad. They play like Kenny Rogers and fucking Gloria Estefan. I was into a lot of pop shit, you know. They were playing all that stuff.
So was I.
A little bit of country, a little bit of pop. I'm trying to think of any names right now, and I can't.
Well,
it was like Rich. It was all like soft rock shit, like Richard Marx and Air Supply, and I still love all that shit. I got Air Supply in my playlist. It's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, dude, that's what it is. We were talking nostalgia. It's like something that just gets burned into you no matter how old you are. It's still gonna.
Oh, I love 80s. I love 80s pop,
totally.
and I've gotten into a lot more 70s stuff over the last 10 years. I listen to a lot of R&B, new and old.
Dude, something about Cyndi Lauper's voice still to this day. It just hits something for me, dude.
She still sounds good. She still sounds good now. Yeah.
No, dude. I totally feel it. So, okay. But let's fast forward just a little bit. So, the pop's working for you, and that's what, like 5, 6, 7, you're saying? 8, maybe? That age?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, 82, I was 9 years old. So
82, you're 9. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
I think I saw that show when I was around 5, maybe 6.
When did you come across some people outside of the family that you started having interest in music as well? You know, like when you start getting like, check this out. I know about this. Trading off stuff.
I don't really remember. I don't know. A lot of shit was MTV, you know. I grew up on MTV.
That's what's up.
So, you know, that's how the one big breakthrough that I will always remember was when I first heard Metallica, Slayer, and DRI, and that was I forget.
All in the same sitting?
Yes, it was before Justice. It was after. Well, it was obviously after Puppets, before Justice, but it was. A friend of mine had a mixtape, and he's like, "Dude, you got to check this out." And we listened to it all night long.
Yeah,
and just had no idea what it was, you know, like. And my buddy had a fucking a Hondo Les Paul copy with a little shitty Gorilla amp, and he's trying to play the riffs along to it, and he's fucking butchering it, but it was awesome because we're just like, what is it? It's I remember it like it just fucking happened 5 minutes ago. It was amazing.
It's one of those memories, dude. Obviously, it's a real core memory for you. What's happening?
I think it was Leper Messiah. I know his 5-year plan. I don't remember this. Slayer might have been Piece by Piece. I'm not sure.
But
it kind of
all
sounds
in one
familiar,
sitting
actually.
too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Was Slayer the most extreme sounding to you guys in that sitting?
I don't think anyone stood out because all three of them sound
foreign at that.
Yeah, they're all so foreign, and they all sound so different from each other. Like it was just, I just remember being blown away by this tape and what it was, and the amount of times we fucking wore it out. You know, it was it was pretty awesome.
That's so cool, dude, and it's so frequent on this show to hear people say it was something that we weren't ready for. Or, you know, our brains just weren't equipped for it yet, but there was something intriguing about it that made you guys go in for a second, third, fourth, fifth, 1000th round, you know?
Oh yeah.
Have you guys checked out that new Metallica?
I actually haven't. But all I hear is people talking about the fucking snare. And I'm like, dude,
it's old news.
Let me just have my time with it. You know?
It actually,
do it. That's cool.
It kind of rules, dude.
That's why I think that I just need to. It's funny that I'm letting everybody's critique keep me from listening to it subconsciously. Like I haven't fully said, you know what, fuck, I'm not going to listen to it. But I have not yet, just because of all this backlash on the fucking snare tone.
I would say it's definitely the best since the Black album. Like, I think it's the best in like 30 years. And I had this realization, and I'm sorry if I'm on a Metallica tangent.
But no, it's all good.
So Judas Priest took a long break. Did Iron Maiden ever take a break? Maybe they didn't ever. But like Black Sabbath, kind of, you can count it as taking breaks when they don't have Ozzy.
Casey would have confirmation on that. How long do they wait between albums?
My point is just that I feel like Metallica should have taken a break from like 93 or 4 until like 2004, and everything would have been great. It just they needed a break and they never took one. And I don't know, because this is kind of like their firepower. Like Judas Priest just put out that one, and it's like good for a bunch of 60-some-year-olds, and like this new Metallica could be like considered that. But they just have so much shit in their discography that it's like you can't just put out one good one and wash that away, you know? So
no, I hear you.
I've had some thoughts about this. I'm airing them. That's all.
I didn't really dig that Lux Eterna song too much. Like it wasn't like the worst song I've ever heard, but I just wasn't like I was like not that taken by it. Whatever.
Yeah, that one's not the best.
But I'm willing to listen to the rest of it and stuff. And like I like the new Megadeth that came out, or like there's some good shit on that. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's completely different band.
The first few on the record are a lot better than the Lux Eterna song. Those ones, it has like a classic. The only thing is that Lars still, there's like so many riffs where it should be a ride cymbal and he doesnn't have one on his. It's always Lars, bro.
Why is Lars? He never had the ride.
It's always Lars. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, he doesn't play with a ride?
No, he hasn't had a ride cymbal on his kit since like the 80s.
Somebody asked him why, and he answered it.
I don't even know.
So he did have a ride at some point.
I think on Kill 'Em All he did, and then
that kind of makes sense, right? I feel like there's like.
Yeah, I've had this discussion, but I haven't done my homework.
Someone knows.
I never knew that.
Ian could pop off on this.
Yeah,
Ian,
I've never seen a picture of his drum set with a ride.
Ian saying on Master 2 on battery there was a ride cymbal.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Cool. I didn't know that.
See, Always good to have Ian in the chat, dude.
Hey,
Shout out Ian. Ian rules.
Oh yeah, Ian totally rules.
yes, he does.
All right, let's get back to Erik though. All right, so these are friends. You guys are passing, or no? You guys discovered Metallica, Slayer, and DRI all in the same sitting. That is
Yes.
crazy to me, bro. So you guys went home and you took your homework home, and what happened with each one of you guys after that situation?
Wow, who knows? I don't know.
Well, tell us
It
about
was-
you then.
It was so long ago. Well, I mean, it was shortly after that I had a guitar show up in the mail from a Fingerhut catalog,
Hmm.
and that's when the journey began.
So it was guitar first.
Yes. Oh yeah. Drums is just something just a poser. I can play like 3 beats, you know. I got a bone crusher beat, I got a cheater 2 foot beat and
You got a blast beat.
and a puka beat. Yeah, you know.
Puka.
Yeah, you know, puka puka puka.
Puka, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, so the guitar shows up. That was your first dive into playing music versus listening to it.
Yeah.
No, nobody musical in the family, mom or dad. Nobody played an instrument.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. My mom wishes she could sing. That's
She
as close
wishes.
as it gets. Yeah. I got a nephew right now that's just turned 18 and he's a fucking shredder.
No shit.
So that's been pretty sweet, you know,
Hell
giving him you know, throwing him a pedal here and there or giving him some shit or whatever, you know,
what
watching
are
him
his
play.
influences? What does he listen to?
He's into a lot of thrash, he's into old school stuff, he's into a little bit of the new school stuff. He likes Megadeth a lot. He loves Metallica. As far as some of the newer stuff, I think he's into Trivium.
Nice.
And
Shout out Alex Bent. We know the drummer.
Oh, nice. Death Angel, he likes a lot. Testament.
Sick.
Yeah, he's got he's growing up right.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you grabbed that guitar out of the package. What's your feeling?
Yeah. I mean, it was a piece of shit, and it was but obviously I didn't know what I was doing, so it was okay. And it came with a little amp that didn't have any kind of distortion or anything, and I didn't know what the hell any of that shit was anyway. But the amp it came with, it had like 2 knobs, and one of them was tremolo, however you say it, and the volume, and it sounded like shit. And it didn't sound like Eddie Van Halen, who was quickly becoming my hero. And so shortly after that, I realized I needed to have an amp with distortion. So went to the House of Guitars and got my first little PV combo amp with a what the hell was my first one? A red BC Rich Rave Warlock. And I could get some good power chords out of that, and it sounded nice and crunchy. And that's where kind of it started happening. I went and took some lessons to learn some cover songs. You Really Got Me, Crazy Train, you know, some of the basic shit. A little bit of Still in the Night. I love John Sykes on the Whitesnake record. And then after doing some lessons and learning some songs, I tried learning scales and shit like that. And then my teacher would be like ripping some shit in front of me, and I'm just like, damn, dude, that's sick. And I don't know, there's something in the mechanics in my hand. I can't figure out the whole lead thing. It's been something that's kind of stumped me my whole guitar life, I guess.
Just keep it below the 5th fret. Keep it brutal.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, having leads is something you should have in your arsenal, maybe, but it all depends on what you're doing, you know. And I think that like with your style of music, leads don't need to be there because it's all just about riff on top of riff on top of riff.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
right.
just riffing, dude. It's just
Yeah.
constant riffing with you, and that's what I
Yeah.
love. Like I'm never
That's all I
not,
know, dude.
yeah, dude, and
That's all I know.
you can appreciate that. Obviously, leads are just like really, if we're talking about like a ice cream sundae, it's the stuff on top, you know.
Oh
The
yeah, yeah.
riffs really got to be the main. The riffs and the drums, obviously too, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Dude, if you
Oh
don't got
yeah.
riffs, you don't got shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, but
Indeed.
I'm commenting on further stuff down the timeline. Let's just keep going. So I want to get into high school and all that stuff. You know, you got the guitar, and so how long did that guitar last before you got another guitar? When did you start finding like-minded people that were also playing?
Well, that was probably like 10th grade, I think. That was the first time I think 9th grade, 10th grade is the first time I smoked weed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was hanging out with these two other dudes. Well, this one other dude, John, and the dudes that were maybe 3, 4 years older than us had a band, and they were in the neighborhood, and we knew that they were kind of like the fucking partiers, you know. These are the dudes that are burning and drinking,
Right.
and we were invited over to watch them play one time, and we hung out with them, and they packed up a steamroller.
Mm.
And this is going to be my first fucking hit of weed. I mean, think about that for a
Out of
fucking
a
steamroller.
steamroller,
Yeah,
dude.
that's ridiculous. But I fucking take this steamroller and I try and take a hit of it, and I don't put my hand over the back.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you're just sucking air, and they all fucking laughing, like, "Oh, dude, you got to put your hand over it." I put my hand over it, and then I fucking proceeded to die. It just fucking was coming out of every fucking hole in my head. It was ridiculous. I think I was not throwing up, but I was drooling all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was obviously high as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And it has proceeded to, you know, I'll be 50 in a couple months. So Jesus Christ. But
so in that moment, so you're saying you're with these people, you smoke you take a big old hit, you blast off to fucking planet zero.
yes.
And then what? Music, is there music involved in that night?
Well, these guys start jamming. We're not jamming yet.
Uh-huh.
But it's around that time that, like, I used to go over a buddy of mine, his name was Brian Taylor, and he had this sick ass Kramer guitar, and me and him would just jam in his garage. We just play riffs and just whatever it was. He'd rip a lead, I'd rip a lead, we both rip leads. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing, but we had amps that had distortion, and it was sick. And then I met these two dudes, John and Wally. And John played drums and Wally played bass. And we started jamming. I think I was in, this might jump, maybe this might be when I'm a senior.
Okay.
And my first band was called MOA, the Mercenaries of Anarchy.
Oh shit.
Serious fucking business. Up, yes.
Man, the 3-letter names with the ... dots in between.
Yes.
Good
yes.
shit.
Plenty. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was the first band, and it was the three of us. And I think it was our first show was in a comic book store at midnight in a suburb outside of Rochester. And it was awesome. We played Slayer and Metallica songs. And the second show we played at a middle school dance at another suburb that turned into a fucking mayhem. These kids were fucking wild. And we went in there.
What kind of songs are you playing at this dance?
well, that's what was weird. We went in there playing like Knocking on Heaven's Door and You Really Got Me, because I had that one, you know. There's a couple other rock and roll ones. But then there was some 8th grader that had a Slayer shirt on. And he goes, "Come on, I want to slam, play Slayer." And we just looked at each other like, this kid rules.
Yes, dude.
And we played, we used to play the Antichrist, kind of. It was, we got through it, but it was, you know, it probably wasn't the greatest. I'm trying to think. We played a couple other songs too that were a little more. I think it was a couple Metallica songs. We used to play Four Horsemen, minus the lead. Yeah, I don't know. We used to play a skating rink. We played a skating rink a few times. Big fight broke out one time. It was pretty sweet. We got kicked out. We felt bad, you know.
Were the people on skates when they were fighting?
No, that would have been really cool though.
That would have been sick. Dude.
We played a Heaven and Hell show at a skating rink before with a Jesus band, and they were called Holy Saint, and we were obviously the Hell band. We used to, because after we were MOA, we turned our we got a lot heavier because we were a little thrashy, and then we got heavy when Obituary and Deicide Cannibal Corpse came out and started kicking our ass. Then we you know, we got heavier. And man, dude, listen to that Deicide record the first time, that first one, it scared the shit out of us. We didn't know what we were listening to. It was fucking awesome.
It's the same thing that you guys felt with that one day where it scared the shit.
Music. Yeah, music always fucking works wonders, man.
Right.
This shit just, like, I feel fucking extra. I don't know what it is. Half the time, some of this shit makes me fucking weep sometimes. It's fucking weird.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, it runs deep. Yeah, I don't know
want
what
it to hit me that hard. I want it to take control of my emotions and then be in it and be like, holy shit, dude, that wasn't me. That was something else, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it is me, and it's something it's just you know, surfacing some things, you know, obviously we all have existential angst and all that shit that we bury down every day to just fucking pay the bills and do and fulfill all the archetypes we're supposed to be. But in reality, there's certain, if you're if something conjures up an emotion in me and I'm feel like I'm out of control with it, I think that, like, it's just something that I've been letting simmer for a while that needs to just boil over a little bit, you know? And music can definitely do that for me. I love listening to sad music, dude. I love listening to sad music. Isn't that crazy? I've said it before on the show.
Right there with you.
Oh, dude, I'm deep. I can get into this crazy realm where I'm just totally listening to depressing, sad music and totally feeling it. But I'm not a depressive person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just certain things that we need to feel. And a lot of people bury those things down, and music can just naturally just say, fuck it, dude. I don't care if you're going to bury that down. I'm going to take it right out of you, dude. Get ready to put it right on the sleeve, dude. You're going to wear it right on the sleeve right now.
Always. Yeah.
And I love that. So yeah, I totally feel that. And all right, again, timeline. So I want to know when you are at a point where you're writing, when were you starting to write your own riffs, and how long after that did you start playing with other humans for real? Like, I mean, obviously cover songs and all that stuff, but When did originals start to come up?
That was more probably when we had a couple originals when we were called MOA, and they were kind of thrashy. And actually, no, we had a demo. We had a 6-song demo, and it's kind of a cross between thrash and death metal a little bit. And I was actually doing a lot of leads on it, and that's when I used to think I could kind of I just would go for it. And they actually weren't too bad. I listened to it not too long ago, actually, and but those tunes were good. But when we turned into Matricore, and then we went from a 4-piece back to a 3-piece, we got a lot heavier, and that's when things got weirder. We started writing tunes that weren't typical, that were just a winding road of riffs, where nothing repeats and everything just kind of, plays 3 times, and then you change, and then you change, and then and the song is like 5.5 minutes long, and there's about 15 riffs in it.
Yeah.
And we were like, we wrote a tune or two like that, and we really liked it, and we were like, wow, this is kind of cool that it's a little different than what we're doing. So let's stay on this. And we recorded a demo, and then we had some newer stuff that was really cool, and then we broke up. And right after that, I tried out for Baphomet, that was out of Buffalo.
The Baphomet?
Yeah, they had
Death metal band?
Yeah, the Dead Shall Inherit.
Shit, yeah. I fucking love that record, dude.
Yeah, dude, that record is fucking awesome. And I used to see him play a bunch back then. And they I think they were a 5-piece for a minute. And then I had the opportunity to try out, and I learned probably about 90% of the record, and I'm pretty sure I was playing it pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I went up there. I think Gary and Rick, is it Rick? Fuck, I forget. I know it's Gary.
I definitely have been smoking too much weed to have that right there for me.
Yeah, I forget the guitar player's name, but I don't know. I think maybe they were annoyed with me or something. I don't know. But I went up there and hung out with them for a night, and the guitar player and bass player wouldn't come in the room when I was jamming with the drummer, and it didn't make any sense. They just went and played pool, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
And me and him just went through tunes. And then I left, and that was it. And nothing ever happened. And right after that was when Braun called me and said, yo, man, my shit's done. Let's do something. And we got together.
So when he said his shit's done, what did he do?
He was in a band called Evisceration.
Okay.
Which is kind of like is real heavy. Kind of like it was kind of heavy groove death metal. It was good, real good shit.
Yeah. Okay, so then he hit you up. So real quick, how did you know Brand previously? Did you already mention that?
I met him. I think Matricore played in his basement. Braun used to have.
Braun, sorry.
That's okay. He had a lot of friends. I mean, back then, he's got a million. But back then, he had a lot of friends, and I think it was either his birthday party or his graduation party, and he had a crazy party. Basement, probably 4 or 5 bands. Everyone downstairs, big circle pit, death metal going the whole time. Upstairs, all the jocks and preps from school. Everyone's partying, everyone's drinking, everyone's smoking. It was silly, and Matricore played there. So I think that's kind of how I got to know Braun, and I saw him play with his band. So I was just like, damn, man, that dude's good. You know, my band broke up, his band broke up, and we did talk a little bit loosely, you know, like, oh man, it'd be cool if we jam sometime.
Right.
And, you know, and then it happened.
Boom. So, how long and what year was that? Because what was it, 92? You guys did the first demo?
I think that was 92, yeah.
So it wasn't even a year before you guys did the demo.
I think Lost in This Existence demo was 93.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So
I could be wrong. My timeline's a little hazy too,
dude,
but
I
it's something like that.
Don't quote me on shit, dude. I'm trying to hold on to everything that I've accumulated.
Wait,
Yeah.
I can't get past this idea of a party that has a death metal show in the basement while it's like a bunch of jocks upstairs.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it was a scene. That was like, that's part of the best part of the story, you know, is the dynamic, because you would go upstairs and it's a completely different story. You go downstairs, everyone's in black and leather, but everyone is fucking partying. It was awesome.
That's like you get that experience like at like a venue where they're like hosting like a 80s night in the other room or something.
Yeah.
But
Shows
at a house, that sounds
Yeah.
pretty ridiculous. So
yeah.
He sounds like somebody who just is, you know, accepted
socially
by a
killing
lot
it.
of people.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Braun's always been very friendly. Yeah.
kind of yeah, that's how I felt in high school too. Like I played football, but I also was down with the stoners and the metal kids, and after I stopped playing football, I was still friends with the football players throughout everything. You know, I just like to hang out with people, dude. That's really what it is, dude.
When I saw
you're cool
Mastodon last year, Braun comes up after the set. He just like goes out to the front microphone and just like chats it up for a little while.
Yeah. He likes to get personal with the crowd, man. He's done that here. You know, whenever they come through here, he always comes and says something on the mic about how he's from here, and it's awesome. You know, he gets a good roar about it, and it feels good. It's cool.
He's got that like Dave Grohl energy of being like the drummer frontman combined thing. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
So, Erik, tell me about when you guys got together and both bands broke up. You had your ideas, he had his ideas. You guys came together, and what were those ideas like? What were your main influences at that time? Like what was the shit that you guys just came together on? Like, yes, this is the shit right here.
Well, I mean, it was all the brutal death metal at that point. It was the big guys, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I can hear Gore Guts in there a lot.
Definitely.
You know? Yeah.
Definitely. I went and hung out with Gore Guts when I was in Matricore. Matricore opened for Gore Guts' Cannibal Corpse tour. I think it was Butcher to Birth tour, and with Atheist. And my girlfriend, a couple days before the show, threw my guitar out the door and smashed the headstock, that cunt.
Fuck.
And so, being a young, stupid kid, I went to play this show with no guitar, and was just hoping that I would be able to just find one to play. And I met Luke, and Loving Considered Dead. I met Luke, and he let me use his Flying V.
Wow.
And we saw that tour 3 times that week, and then we exchanged information, and then me and the 2 guys in my band and Alex from Cannibal Corpse got in the car for a weekend and drove up to Sherbrooke from where he lives, and hung out in their jam space.
Wow.
And where Luke lives, and we spent the weekend there and just like fucking hung out and partied and watched them jam. And I got a video of it somewhere in storage, and it's pretty fucking cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had to rewind that. It just popped in my head.
No, it's all good. Those are the things we'd love to hear on this show, dude.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's the whole point of this thing, is to find those little tidbits that not
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people would know about, dude. And it's really cool for me as just a listener to hear the influence from those guys in your early work, because like I had told you previously, I think I said it, I don't think I said it on the episode, but going through CDs at a record store and flipping through every single one to try and find one of those gems, and it's hard to write with a little hand was one of those gems for me. And also that moved me towards purchasing the double disc Lethargy discography
Yeah.
CD, and that too totally just opened up my eyes, because all I had heard up until that point was that It's Hard to Write record, and then going into your past and actually seeing where uh, your influences were back in the early 90s, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, you could totally tell these guys started as death metal kids,
Oh yeah.
but eventually they found other aspects about music that they wanted to incorporate in the stuff they were making.
Yeah.
So the lost, is it Lost in Existence?
Lost in this existence.
In this existence, excuse me. And then, all
Mhm.
right, so you guys put those songs together and put the demo out. How long before? What was the gigging situation while that demo was out? Did you get out of New York at all on that demo?
Not. Our first show was in Niagara Falls. There was
Okay,
a festival going on up there because up in Buffalo and Niagara Falls, the fucking death metal scene up there used to be insane.
really?
Death metal and hardcore. Yeah, there was a ton of bands, and the shows were crazy, and the local shows, actually local shows in Rochester too, were insane.
Mm-hmm.
But our first show, we played 3 songs, and we weren't booked on the show. There was like 6 bands, and it was a mix of. We were really into the New Jersey scene as well, and I think Demonacy from New Jersey was on it, and I don't know if Human Remains was on it. I forget, but Grotesque Infection was on it. I don't know. This fucking band. Sorry, uh, but we managed. We were like, look, I got this new project. I had a lot of friends playing. I was like, you think we brought our guitars? You think we could just squeeze on and someone could set up? We could just use your shit and play 3 songs and yeah, I'd never try and say that these days. But they're like, oh yeah, no problem. I was like, we'll be quick. We won't do anything crazy. And we played 3 songs. I broke a string on the last song. It was just fucking ridiculous. And but the response was great. And so we were really high off it, And a couple of the guys in Corpse were there, Cannibal Corpse, and I had made friends with them when I was in Matricore. We became friends with Jack, and then we met some of the other guys through him. And so at this show, Jack and Alex approach me and say, "Hey, we're thinking about moving to Florida, and we're going to need another guitar player." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they loosely explained what was going on, and they wanted me to join the band.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really blown away. But at the time, I was really high off my band.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to move. I was, oh fuck, how old was I there? I was probably 92, 93. So I was 19, 20 years old. And
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, I didn't want to move. So obviously I didn't. And Rob got it. But that was insane because the whole drive home, everyone is in my car. I used to have a Ford Taurus, and I had me and 5 other people in my car. It was a 90 Ford Taurus. It was fucking giant. And we're all in it, and it didn't have heat. So you had to have the vent, like the heat on, and then as long as you're driving, there'll be some heat coming out of that fucking thing.
Right.
But the windows are fogging up, and I'm telling these dudes, I go, you guys aren't going to believe what happened tonight. And I told them about talking to those guys, and then they all felt like they felt awful because they felt like they were in the way or holding me back from making that decision. I said, no. I said, don't worry about it. I said, it's okay. I'm really, I'm really high on this. I really want to, let's do this. We're jamming, dude. Let's, those guys are moving. I don't know if I want to move. So,
yeah.
And, Florida's scary.
Right. So then from that point, do you just, you obviously decide that you're just going to focus on what you're already doing?
Yeah, Lethargy was it, man. And then Lethargy went in the 90s. And
99 was what you guys
our
called
last
it
show.
99?
Yeah, because we weren't active all the time. Braun occasionally would go out to Martha's Vineyard and work for a summer.
Yeah.
And and then he left, and I think he did that for a couple summers, and then those guys left and did the Today's the Day thing for a bit, and then came home, and we recorded those last Lethargy songs that are the first ones on the discography.
Yeah.
And fuck, I forgot what I was just gonna say.
We were just talking about 99. And
and the last show, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the last show was on Christmas of 99 at our favorite place here called the Bug Jar. And it was insane. It was pretty awesome.
So you guys already obviously decided before that show, this is gonna be the last hurrah type deal.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, because those guys came home and they already had they already kind of had a little bit of a game plan, that they were going to move to Atlanta and find some dudes to jam. And
right.
So yeah, that was the thing, was to get at least get our last tunes together and get them recorded. And we got them. I think we recorded them like 2 days after the show, and then those guys moved like a day or two after that or something. Yeah.
So how long after that do you decide to put the Sulaco stuff together? Because was that your the next project for you?
Yeah.
Or did
there
you
was
do
another
something
one?
in between?
Yeah. When those guys were in Today's the Day, there's a band from here called Mung Bean Demon that was playing, and they were a 4-piece, and I wound up joining them. And Lon, who plays bass in Solaco with me, he was in that band, and that's how I got to know him. And that was like a mix of like every genre. The singer had a crazy ass scream that would sound a little kind of Seth Putnam to me, but then he had these cleans that he would sing, but but the style of music it wasn't like a metalcore-ish like sing scream thing. It wasn't like that.
Right.
It was the music style is much different, and it was quirky, It was rocky. It was heavy. So I
Sounds
did that. I did that for a couple years.
Sounds like I'd
And
love it.
yeah. Oh, Mung Bean is great. I think this shit's all online too. Probably on YouTube. All that shit, YouTube gets everything.
Nice. I love these, so I can go back to figure out all the shit that, because that's the whole thing about the show too. Real quick, I'm not going on a side tangent, but I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say, the talking to you, Eric, and talking to everybody else that we've talked to, these are the exact things that you can't find it on your Wikipedias or your fucking
Yeah.
Encyclopedia Metallium or whatever it is. It's like,
Yeah.
especially with you, dude, like they list so many things on there, and then still everybody's like, check out this thing, and it's not there. I'm like, dude,
I'm underground. Not all my shit gets out,
That's what's up, dude, and I love that.
Yeah.
That makes things exciting still.
Yeah.
You gotta actually know what you're looking for to find it.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot where we were just talking about before I just went on that stupid thing.
Oh, what was it? Oh, I was on Mung Bean Demon.
Okay.
And then before Solaco, I was playing drums in a band called Calabas.
Yep. Another Willow Tip band.
Yeah, Willow Tip, and we had a split on Relapse with a band called Rune.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably when my drumming was at its best. We had some fast stuff that was pretty cool, and those guys wrote insane riffs, and it was pretty noodly stuff. We did a few tours, and
when did you get a kit and start playing?
Well, I had Braun's old kit, and I think that's what Calabas started with, but it was falling apart, and it was old, and it was shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we did our early shows. My cousin bought this brand new Premier drum set. He didn't know how to play. He just had some money and he wanted to play. So he went and bought this nice fucking kit, great hardware and cymbals. And he said, look, if you'll let me set up the drums every time you guys play, he goes, you can use my drums. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? These drums are mint. I'm going to destroy them. I don't even know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
And but he did, and it was awesome for a little while, and then we went away on a weekend, and there was 6 of us, 7 of us. We had a gig in Columbus. Cincinnati. One of those, and we're driving back coming through Cleveland, and it was 3:30 in the morning. My cousin was driving. 3 of us were sleeping on the back bench, and then there's 4 captain's chairs. Everyone's in there. I think he falls asleep, and we all wake up to the van swerving, and the van flips upside down, flips around, and goes into the grassy median between the route,
Fuck.
It was pretty insane. Yeah. So we all kick out the side door and fucking crawl out. It was fucking wild, man.
So you kicked out the door while you were upside down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, kicked it open. It was like, it didn't.
No, I know, but you guys are like hanging.
Yeah. Yeah. It was upside down. Yeah. A couple of the guys were in seatbelts. The 3 of us, we were laid in the back like fucking sardines. And we were just bouncing around as the fucking van flipped around all over each other. So that was fun. Nobody got hurt except for I think Jody, the guitar player, fucked up one of his fingers a little bit, and I think my friend Clint might have hurt himself a little bit. Nothing crazy though. Common
thing though, dude, when it comes to touring, and driving conditions is one, but 2, like I know so many times where I've been on tour and I was dozing at the wheel. And we're just we have to succumb to being in that environment because we have to get to the next show. We have to fucking we can't stay here. We have to get on the road, you know?
Yeah. I used to be the overnight driver when Calabas toured, and Pat, our singer, would stay up with me, and everyone else would sleep. And we would stop and get a 12-pack of Mountain Dew and trucker speed and any kind of thing that would fucking keep us high.
Right.
And a couple of those drives that we did, there was one time I did a 16-hour drive, and I felt like I was out of my mind. And it was quite the experience. We were driving through Arizona, and I just remember having the gas pedal on the van was completely to the floor, and it was just me and Pat are just like screaming, losing our minds. We're just like jacked out of our fucking heads, going, "What the fuck are we doing?" And these guys are all sleeping, and it didn't. I don't know. It's just fucking nuts, man. I don't know. I'm having crazy flashbacks, man. So.
I lost my mind on a road in Canada because I don't know what highway or whatever we were on, but it was miles and miles of just a straight fucking road, dude.
Yeah.
And when you drive on just a straight road at night, headlights, things are flowing past you, but it's all in the dark. It gets this weird hypnotic, like hallucinogenic feeling to it, dude. Like things get weird.
Oh yeah, very weird.
If you have a lack of sleep, if it's like, because I remember what I'm thinking about being in that position of the night driver.
Yeah.
Loadout, you're done 2 a.m. You gotta who's gonna be driving after all of that? It was me at this one time in Canada. I drove from like 2 to 6 or 7, and I watched the sun come up, and you just feel like you're not human. It's like you're outside of your reality.
Driving does do that, man. It does.
Yeah. But I did have in the side realm, my co-pilot was watching Team America, so I could hear it.
Nice.
I could hear
nice
it.
Work, Gary.
Get some peripheral of that while I was driving. Still fucking losing my mind, dude.
That would keep me awake. I'd be laughing.
I definitely didn't fall asleep because I was laughing at the audio, but still at the same time, your visuals of like just the same road. All right, enough of that though. All right, so Sulaco, when did that get born? And
wait, sorry, there's a question about As the World Burns, which was a part of your discography.
We just passed over As the World Burns.
One of your bands, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I think was before. What the fuck did I say? Did you pass over As the World Burns? Yeah, I did.
98.
No, I wasn't in that version though. I was in As the World Burns for 2 seconds, but I couldn't play it because the old drummer had fast feet. I don't have fast feet. My feet are shit. So that's how Calabas was born, because I was gonna do As the World Burns, and we were jamming, and we geared Calabas more towards my strengths, as a drummer. So that's I've never had good feet. I've never had fast feet.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to catch that comment from Grindoscopy.
Grindoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, buddy.
But yeah.
What was I gonna? I was saying Sulaco. So
Solaco, yeah. Well, I was jamming with Lon and Mung Bean Demon, and when Lethargy folded and Mung Bean folded, I loved jamming with Lon. His bass sound was a lot different. I loved jamming with Adam and Lethargy, but Lon just had bigger sound, a bigger presence on stage. So I wanted to do something heavier than Lethargy, something with some more double bass and maybe a little grindier. So we started trying out drummers around the town. One of them was Timmy Young, and
shout out.
Yeah, we love Tim.
Hell yeah.
One of the Rochester alum that are that are fucking awesome.
Totally. He's been on the show and he totally repped the Rochester scene when he was on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. His old band Windbreed was awesome, man. I fucking seen that kid play when he was like 13. It was fucking awesome, man. 13-year-old doing blast beats is pretty fucking sweet.
Hell yeah.
But fuck no, I don't even. I got sidetracked.
Sulaco and
yeah. We started trying out drummers, and we were trying out all different kinds of drummers. We were trying out rock drummers, hardcore drummers. We weren't sure what we were doing. But I had 2 songs off that first demo. I had one of them with a few riffs, and I was just showing each drummer, and seeing if they dug it or not. And but I really wanted who we have, Chris Golding. I love all the other dudes because I'm actually very good friends with all of them still. And but Chris just had this style. He was playing in a band called Within, and he's a fucking crusher. I'd always sit behind him when Within would play. I'd always sit behind him and watch him.
Yes.
And I was like, fuck, man, I see my riffs all over this dude's beats. I was like, I gotta, but I didn't want to interfere in his band too. I wanted to make sure he could do more than one thing, but but I wanted him. I was jealous a little bit, maybe, but
yeah.
But when it came to asking him, he was down, and we did our 4-song demo at Watchman Studio in Lockport with my buddy Doug, who I've recorded a million times with. I love you, Doug. And we recorded our first demo up there, just banged it out. Doug did a great job on it, and Relapse loved it, and they put it out. I don't know if they loved it. They liked it, and they put it out.
The purple cover one.
Yeah, it's like purple, blue.
Yep, it's in my truck right now, dude.
Yeah, the 4-song
copy. And I want to shout out Chris as well, because his drumming is one of my favorite parts of listening to Solaco, for sure.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, he's awesome, man. I love whenever we play a gig and the camera is on him and I'm able to see some footage of him,
Yeah,
dude, I watch him at practice too, but I like to see him in a live feel,
I recently was watching some stuff, getting ready for the show, and a Sick Drummer magazine footage of Chris was something that I watched this week, and I had a great fucking time watching him play. He definitely is a unique player, and you can see it in his style and some of the stuff that he pulls off. I'm like, holy shit, dude, that came out of nowhere, and you wouldn't, and it would hit while you're listening to Solaco, but at the same time it hits different while you're watching him execute it,
Yeah.
So shout out Chris, dude.
Damn right.
From the beginning, that's crazy, dude. And so it's just like, oh, dude, that's the guy, and you were totally fucking right.
yeah. We got lucky. And then becoming his friend over this whole time. Sulaco's been a band now. I think this is year 21, and we're all very close. So like I love these guys so much. So it's a special band, and then the stuff, we could be a little slow when it comes to writing and stuff, but when everything comes together and we record, it's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, dude, and that's not what it's all about. It doesn't matter about how long it takes, dude. Between
I get impatient sometimes, though.
Everybody does. But I'm just saying, it's like it getting it the way that you guys really want it to be before you release it into the wild.
That's how it is with writing the riffs, man. I play my guitar a lot, and it takes a while to. A lot of stuff gets thrown away, you know.
Yeah, and
a lot of demos, a lot of time writing riffs, and then one day I listened to it and it's like no, and then it all goes, and then it just hits delete, just like Lars's dad in that movie. I did delete.
But when you finally get it to the point where you don't want to hit delete, that's
it's a special
yeah.
moment. That's when I can't wait to share it with my guys. Yeah, exactly.
Totally, dude. So, let's talk about some tours and stuff that Sulaco did when things started rolling for that band. Well, there's some cool stuff that happened.
We did. Well, we've done one big tour that was about maybe 3.5 weeks. I think we went around the U.S. I think what did we do? We went straight west and then down the coast and then back around the bottom. And then I think when we did some shows in Texas and then went straight home from Texas.
Who'd you guys go out with?
Conifer.
What are they?
Conifer.
Like?
They were a little bit Neurosis-y, maybe. I'm not sure who to compare them to, but they were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They were out of is it Portland, Maine, I think.
Okay.
Great guys. We had a great time with them. We were on most of the shows, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But we did that, and then we did this, and then we're mostly weekend warriors.
Yeah.
Just getting out and doing a little bit of that, and that's right around the time that's the same year that I joined Nuclear Assault.
So, yeah, that's a cool fucking situation too, dude.
So that kind of took off in a big way. Like my first Calabas was playing at Danny Lilker's wedding reception, which was at CBGB's.
Sick.
There was 10 bands, and Calabas was on. I think we might have played first. And then I met Danny after, and the woman that he married is an old friend of mine. I've known Heather since when I was playing in Matricore, and we'd be playing at a local bar or whatever. And there was always a few metal chicks that hung out that were part of the scene, and Heather was part of that. And she was getting married to Dan, or she did just get married to Dan, but and they were living in New York, but they were going to relocate to Rochester, and Nuclear Assault was getting back together. So she dropped my name to Danny as a potential player, and I accepted. But I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm a rhythm player. I'm not a lead player."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, come over and we'll jam a little bit, and we'll just see what happens." And so I go over there, we burn a little bit, and then we run through a tune or something, and then I just kind of fucking take a shit all over my neck, and he goes, that's cool, man. If you know Lilker's he's awesome, and he doesn't sweat much, so like he's just like, yeah, dude, that'll fucking work, I mean, I'm very self-conscious about that shit, and the whole time I was in Nuke, I love playing those riffs, man. But me trying to play a fucking lead, there's just something about it. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And in the last 5 years, they were a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I mean, I joined Nuke in 2002. In 2003, all of a sudden we were on tour with Exodus, Death Angel, Testament.
Yeah.
All these fucking bands with major league shredders.
Major league. Dude.
And yes. And I'm like, dude, Gary Holt is one of my fucking heroes.
Yeah.
And going on a tour, watching him play, and then I have to play, like even if
doesn't
we're
make sense.
before, I'm just like, man, I felt like shit every day. And it's something that has always lingered and has been awful. And but I love the party though. So it's been a weird back
Right.
and forth for 20 years because I love those songs. I grew up on them and they paved it's a big influence on my writing is Nuclear Assault stuff. That's all my thrash shit comes from them.
Right.
And that's before I was in the band. And uh but yeah, the pain of doing that was it was awful.
Do you
But
think that it's like that you had them in such a high regard before you became a member because they were already, you know, so influential before you got the gig? Well, since that's set up for you, do you think that it would be like you'd never get to the point where you think you got to that actual level, you know? Just because of what's set in your mind, like whether or not you're actually capable, more likely than not, if you would have that aside of you. But I'm saying, like, just having that always in the back of your mind, like, this is nuclear assault. Like, you'll never, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, there were a bunch of years that I didn't feel worthy, and there were a lot of fans that did not like me being in Anthony's spot. And believe
yeah,
me, I heard it. Some of them told me to my face.
mm-hmm,
And I just had to smile and laugh it off, which is,
right,
but it was expected. It's not like I didn't think it wasn't going to happen.
totally,
So, I mean, Anthony had this level of shred that when he went into a lead, they're memorable. I can, and they're manic. And it's like, it's not for me.
totally. Nah, for sure, dude. I mean, that filling somebody else's giant shoes, you know,
It's tough, man.
I
Yeah.
think we can all relate to that.
we actually can, dude. I
Yeah.
stepped into the Severed Savior gig with that already rolling too, and that was some shoes to fill, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have caught some people who have been like, "Oh, dude, Dusty's better," or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just like, hey, dude, hey, I'm the current vocalist, and that's what it is.
That's how it is. Yeah. I mean, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I don't know. I was like, it was like that with Brutal Truth too, man. They didn't like that I wasn't Gurn. I was like, well, dude, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to represent. Fuck, man. I love Brutal Truth. That's why I'm here. Fuck, man. You like it too, right?
Right, dude.
Doing my best, dude. I don't know.
Totally, dude. And I mean, if we're gonna be honest, dude, my favorite Lilker project is Brutal Truth. You know,
Fuck yeah, it's mine too, dude.
that
I love Brutal Truth.
that's such a great fucking band, dude. And
Yeah.
I would be honored to be a part of it, so that whether or not there was people talking shit, you had the experience, dude.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fucking rad,
I
dude.
di- yeah, it didn't matter. I had a little bit of thick skin because I was in Nuke already for a few years when I joined Brutal. I joined Brutal I think it was 2006. And and then we did a bunch of shows for a little bit and then wrote that record in 2009, and that was a really really special moment for
Mhm.
me because that's the first time any of my records, anything I've ever done recorded has been on a bigger level where it's been able to be heard on more of a worldwide level, So
Totally.
it was really special to me, and I had a good part in the writing, and my guitar tone on it is sweet, and I
Yes.
like the mix, and it's pretty cool. I love the tunes. It's wild.
Totally, dude.
Thank you.
And yeah, I love it. As a person who is a fan of Brutal Truth before you became a part of it, I love that addition to the discography, all the live stuff that I've seen with you in the band. I enjoy all of it, and I think you were a natural component to that band during that time for sure.
It did feel good. I got schooled every day.
And I actually, with all that said, I have to retract my statement because I want to be truthful. Actually, Exit 13 might be my favorite.
Oh, all right. That's
Brutal
all right.
Truth is very good. I love all their records, but I'm going to say that I think that Exit 13 was something that I connected with a little bit more, which is, I know it's weirder to say after the fact, but actually, Ethos Music, it was fucking such a powerful record for me when I came across it. But Lilker's awesome no matter what, dude. Anything that, dude,
Yep.
MOD, SOD, all those, he was part of so many influential records in my upbringing in metal. So
Me too, man.
I'd
Right there
love
with
to
you.
have him on the show. Maybe you're still in touch with him. I don't know.
I am. I'm in touch with him.
We can talk about that, dude.
No, I'll give him a call here.
There's a
Yeah,
question. Hell yeah. There's a question from Ian on biggest crowd you've ever played for.
That was in Bogota, Colombia.
Ah.
I think it was like 100,000 people.
Whoa.
And what sucks is that it's on YouTube and I am in the mix this much.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
0. I'm not in the mix at all.
Ah,
Awful.
fuck.
Yep. And it was weird because if you were to Google it or YouTube it or whatever, you'd see the gap between the stage and the people. It's huge. It's got to be like 50 feet at least.
Wow.
It's fucking weird. I don't know, but it was a lot of fun, and it was a free show, and it was a no alcohol thing. So when we got bussed in to the backstage, they came on the bus. We had to get off the bus. They had to pat us down. Then they went on the bus and searched the bus for beers or whatever, anything you're not supposed to have. And then we had to walk through a checkpoint thing. And that's how we got in. It was a little weird. But we did manage to get a couple joints in, so that was kind of
there you go. For 420 show, that's a good little anecdote.
Oh yeah, I gotta throw that in there. Yeah. And then around the hotel, it was crazy because in Bogota, like it's kind of dirty place, or at least in the area we were in. But we were staying at a nice hotel, but on that block the hotel was on, that was the only thing on the block, and there were armed guards with machine guns on every corner of this block. And me and Danny went outside and burned one, and we tried to get a picture with one of them. And we looked at him and kind of put up our phone, and we're like, like this, and pointed at it, and he looked at us and went,
no.
And we're just like, no problem, dude. It's like, okay, man, see you later, dude. We scurried back into the hotel like two little fuckers.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So, all right.
It was fun though.
Yeah, dude. It sounds like a blast, dude. I would love to be a part of that. But let's get into you again. Let's get into so Sulaco was the one thing that you did for a while, on and off, like.
Well, no, Solaco's always been going, and it was Solaco and Nuke for a while, and then I quit Nuke in 2005. We were recording a record, and part of the reason I quit was because I was self-conscious about my leads. I went in and tracked 2 leads on the record, and I fucking hated it. And so I quit, and I hated the record. And so I wasn't very happy. And then the next year was when I joined Brutal Truth, and Nuke got another guitar player, much better, Shredder. I saw him play live here in town with him shortly after. And I was like, see, what's wrong with that dude? That dude's fucking good. And they were like, but his rhythms aren't that good. And I was like, really? I was like, he sounded fine to me. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So they wound up fucking kicking him out, and they got me back in the band. They asked me to play again. So I rejoined. And so there was a little while there that I was doing Sulaco, Nuke, and Brutal Truth. And then we started Calabas up again. And that was going, but the lineup was a little different. And fuck, we started blurring is it for a little while. Yeah, sorry. So the timeline gets a little weird. But yeah, it was Brutal, Solaco, and Nuke were going for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Calabas.
I'm just going to pull up your Metal Archives page and verify this and see what comes next. So blurring is in Mania. Are other bands that you've started?
Yeah, blurring is blurring was the one that I did with Lilker. I played drums in that one, and we have a few releases. That was in like the when did we start? 2013, I think. We just broke up last year.
Okay.
In Mania is an album that I did. A buddy of mine, Jesse, awesome guitar player, wrote a record with a drum machine and wanted a real drummer to do it. So he showed me the record and I recorded it on my V drums. But it came out fucking awesome. And it just went to Bandcamp. We never played any shows.
V drums is the electric kit or whatever.
Yeah, rolling kit.
Okay.
And but it sounds pretty good. Sounds metal.
Hell yeah.
I have one right here.
Boom.
Yeah, yes. I love my V drums.
The
Dude,
Yeah,
Anthony,
right.
I love your custom design headphones. They like cramp on like a
Yeah,
crab.
dude.
Whoa.
I stepped on them in a previous episode and have not replaced them yet. They still work.
It creates this like
That's all right. They still work.
It gives me like a little fucking double
smart.
arch.
Yeah.
dude.
Maybe there's something to that. I don't know.
I don't know. They still fit comfortably.
Clamps on every time.
Probably more comfortably. But yeah, dude. I'm having a blast this episode, guys. I'm super high, which I should be.
Yeah.
Uh,
Damn right.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, honestly, I have to go listen to I honestly have not checked out Brutal Truth.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking
time.
great, dude. Very, very fucking good band. Anything Lilker touches really is quality for me, dude.
Yeah, this was an episode where I could not possibly listen to all the material. When you gave me the logos for the flyer, and you gave me like 6 logos.
Yeah.
And I was
I
like,
started getting carried away. I
was
didn't
like,
know
there's
what I
a
wanted to give
3.
you.
I can only do 3 logos maximum.
That's
More.
good,
all,
dude.
and then that was all just the current active bands are 3, and then there's like a billion, bands you were in, and I wanted
so
to
much of it is quality, dude. I've listened to quite a bit of it, and yeah,
I kind of want to make an alternate flyer with just the other side of the bands. Like
why not do it, dude?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll flip one out.
I think anybody who's listening to this or watching this right now has not listened to what this man is about. They need to fucking start digging because it's all quality, dude.
Dig.
I love how we have like a Rochester division of Cali Death people.
And Ian knows what's up. He knows that I know what's up. That's kind of how this episode happened. I literally, once me and Ian came in touch and I knew who he had contact with, I was like, Erik's one of the guys, dude. I want to get on, dude, for sure.
Oh,
because just and breaking the fourth wall, like Casey, Joel, and Joseph didn't know anything about Lethargy. This is literally an episode.
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Oh yeah.
No, I've heard but way back,
yeah, okay. Stuff. But I was just like, this
I was
one's
re-listening
for me,
to
some of these episodes that I'm booking. I'm like, oh, dude, this one's for me, guys.
So the Lethargy that I listened to was fucking sick, dude. Like,
oh yeah, it's
right up my
thanks.
alley. Like, I
Nice.
love like that atheist kind of tech death, and then to hear it done in New York and like all sick was really sick. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, dude, and that's why
I'm
you're
mega
here,
proud
dude.
of that shit.
Yeah,
you should be, dude, because it's something that to me, like, for somebody who's been listening to music for as long as I have and all that kind of shit, what you start to realize what stands out throughout the years, and there are those records that just end up just boiling up to the surface, dude.
Yeah.
They're eventually going to be at the top, you know. And
Yeah.
also another thing that I like to talk about with albums that are important for me is I like to take my fill and then I'll shelf them, and then they'll recharge themselves as I've had time away from them, to when I finally bring them back out, it becomes fresh again. And actually, that was something that happened with Lethargy previous to me booking you, bro. I already had the discography double disc in my 6 CD disc changer in my 2004 Ford truck, bro. And it's CD 1 and 2 still for like the last 3 weeks, dude.
Nice.
And I drive quite a bit during the week, and I always love going back to those records, dude. And
Hell yeah.
it really is something that just makes me feel good when I listen to that music, dude. And if we're even talking, I'm not comparing anything, but I'll listen to Lethargy way more than I listen to Mastodon. Like, it really is something I want to put on a Lethargy album way more than. But why am I even comparing that? I'm just being
two different beasts. Yeah,
it is. Even in the tech metal realm, though, too, that is something that is sits on the top shelf for me as well. You know, I listen to a lot of tech metal, and Lethargy is something that is, goats in that category for me as well. So thank you, dude. I really appreciate
thank you.
And with Soli, like, so tell us about Soli real quick, dude. What's that all about?
It was the COVID band. It was kind of started with it was my buddy Adam Frappoli, who used to sing for the band Psyopus.
Oh yeah.
I've been buddies with him and been trying to get something going with him for quite a while. And we finally got something going. We got a hold of a drummer. I wrote a bunch of tunes that were a little shorter, a little punchier, a little grindier. And Adam is insane with a microphone in his hand. So the band is kind of built around his his drive, his insanity. Like, he's angry on that when he's fucking screaming. He sounds like he's gonna fucking kill you. So so it's pretty awesome. He just sounds maniacal. He sounds crazy. So it's so I'm trying to gear all the notes towards that direction, where everything's just a little fiercer sounding.
I'm hearing him in my head right now because I'm playing with Psyopus in my head, and I'm just like, oh yeah, dude, that'd be fucking cool to hear that voice over your riff.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah. Hell yeah.
So is Psyopus still a thing or
not? No, they've been broke up for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been trying to get things back going again, and they almost did a couple years ago, and then it fizzled. And then I did just hear recently Adam say that Chris reached out to him, but I don't know what's going on. The details
are 2 records they did?
Are kind of light. They did 3, I think.
3. Okay. Shake out Twisted real quick.
It's all good. It happens.
He must have hit a button or something.
It's been a minute since we've had
to twist it.
Screen.
Yeah, that's usually a Diego Sanchez situation.
For sure.
That happens all the time.
Well, he must have tried to twist himself back and then he hit a button or something. But he'll be back, dude. Dude, I love all of this so much, dude.
Oh yeah, he's killer.
Oh yeah. And just that history with, I mean, yeah, Rochester. I mean, hearing Tim Young talk about it, knowing about Lethargy and all this stuff, I'm like, it's a tiny pocket that most people may not really talk about much, but actually there were some pretty key people that came out of that little tiny scene, upstate New York, Rochester. Like nobody knows where Rochester is.
But then, so Mastodon is out of like Atlanta, Georgia. So Braun must have like moved from Rochester. Okay.
And not just Braun, the other guy. There was another guitar player from Lethargy that is. So basically, half of Mastodon is Lethargy. That's what it is.
It's Bill also. Bill.
There you go.
Kelleher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was going to ask how that record sounds so good. It was recorded so good in like
which one is hard to write?
I think.
Yeah. I know. It really does sound great.
It does. I wanted to ask
is killer
when Erik comes back. But in the meantime, happy 420.
Yeah, dude, I hope you're getting nice and baked while we're hanging here. Dude, Joseph, let's talk about your tour again a little bit. When does it come up?
Okay. June 1st through 16th. Here it is.
And that's a DIY tour you guys been doing, right? Who put it together?
It has a logo for the production and
down
booking.
At the left. I can't read it.
But it's affiliated with TKO Booking, but it isn't TKO. It's like our manager booked this one for us, but he usually teams with them. So anyway, it's cool. He got us this opportunity, and some of the venues I've seen are pretty sweet. This doesn't have the venues on it, but I have it elsewhere. Actually, that's a good thing. I should update this with the venues and Anyway, yeah, do you want me to read the days? Okay, here's the ones I'm excited about the most. Chicago with First Fragment, and also Richmond the day after. Indiana has First Fragment and Carrionvale. June 1st in Kansas City. I know that one just got announced is with Gormand, the band Gormand. And all right, yeah, I can't speak too much.
No, it's all good.
Anymore. Nashville, I'm stoked on. Hopefully, Nashville goes good.
I'm just trying to fill the time. So we also got
this background on the whole time. Why aren't we?
Do you think?
Why didn't we?
I don't know. We do now.
Let's just plug the Chicago thing again one more time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
let's
dude.
Do the flyer.
There it is, dude.
Just block out Casey.
Domination Fest. There's actually been more bands announced since this flyer too. What?
No, that's okay. You can go back. It's okay.
Yeah. This is we didn't even say the dates. July 27th, 28th, 29th. In Chicago. Oh no, not Chicago. In Lombard, Illinois, at the Brower House.
Also, anybody going to see Cephalopsy in LA next weekend, I hope to see you there. Or not next weekend, sorry, this coming Saturday. I will see you in the pit. And with Embodied Torment as well, who are on this Chicago Domination Fest as well. And I want to shout out Embodied Torment as the sickest like sleeper death metal band, and we're having their mastermind guitarist on the show on Cali.
We are
weeks, so
it is booked into the future.
I'm just gonna, since we have this flyer up, I'll just say we have someone from Reviled coming on next week as our guest. And who else are we repping from this festival coming up? I want to get Wormhole Stabbing both to come on our show. And shout out the Analepsy tour that just got announced with Wormhole. Looks like a very fun tour with Necrotic Gore Beast and Cognitive. Actually, so all 4 of those bands, Chicago Domination is just a show on their tour. But yeah, that's a cool little run they got. All right, guys, help me.
I know, sorry, dude. Eric's having some troubles right now, but we're trying to make it happen. This is what happens when you do a live show, guys. If we were some big pro production, this would all be edited out for the listeners in the future, but nope, this is all good. So
sorry, everybody.
But yeah, we love you guys and thank you for being with us right now, everybody in the chat. Yeah, Ian's saying throw somebody else on. That might be not a bad idea. He's going to bed. Never mind.
We were talking about going to like I don't even know how to do it though. Like I don't know how to do it live on here. Where like we go to. Well, I guess we could like share it. I guess, but like someone's live Twitch stream and bring it onto ours and like. For like Scott, if he's still streaming or something like that, would be kind of fun. I don't know, but
let me see who is streaming on Twitch right now.
Do you know how to like? How would we?
No,
I guess we could just share it from a browser or something. Like I don't know. I guess that would work, and we could like be in the chat.
Yeah, I mean Scott Carstairs is on right now.
What if you just put on some of it for a second or something, and then save her? But he wouldn't know. Just an idea.
I just messaged Eric. Hopefully he'll get back to me very soon. If not, it's all good. Do the internet and technology and all that bullshit.
We're chilling.
He was on his phone. He actually sounded the best I've heard on a phone in a while. He had headphones in.
Yeah, that was good quality. That was a good quality conversation. Great storyteller.
Yeah, dude. I'd love for him to pop back on, but if I mean, yeah, call it now. Come on. I would love for him to get back to me right now. But
Eric and technology don't mix well.
Yeah, he had told me, he's like, I don't have a computer. Will my phone work? I'm like, yes, dude. You're my kind of people, because they set me up for like hitting 2 buttons and then I'm on. I don't have to do anything else. What are you putting on? Is this Scott right here?
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's pretty funny. I don't know, it's for like not loading. Is it like frozen?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Scott.
To do this, but we're just experimenting for a second to be goofy. Yeah, I don't know why it's not loading on the Twitch channel. You guys are all fine on my screen. Anyways,
shout out
Scott.
Shout out Scott from Fallujah, and one of the greatest fucking writers of programmed drums that is later recorded by amazing drummers. Dude, that guy, because I've been listening to the Fallujah record a lot, it's incredible how meticulous that stuff is. Just on my mind.
So that's all programmed by Scott before.
Yeah, but then Andrew was like an absolutely elite drummer performer who could like bring it all to life. And then, I mean, we asked Andrew about this when he was on, and I remember he would just say, yeah, it was like Scott who wrote the drums in Fallujah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, I mean, when you listen to it, it just like, it is Andrew. Like, that's all you really hear. So it's really crazy to think about how it came to be. But
yeah. So is any of it have to like, is Andrew have any say in it, or is it every single note?
No, he definitely does.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the details. Like that would have to be like a walkthrough of it, but he told us that he like,
We probably totally had this conversation, and we've done 126 episodes, and how many hours later, and how much weed and alcohol has been drank since then, and smoked since then. It's like, wait, I'm trying to be let in on information that I've already come across, but dude, I don't even re-listen to these things either. So how could I ever retain? There's like a few pieces of information that stay with me.
I actually think about our episodes with people like when stuff happens like years later now with people we've had on, like I always think back to the episode I had with them when I like hear about them.
Oh yeah.
And
Like,
it's like
give it an
100
example.
yeah.
Like an example, like who?
Well, like Andrew recently, and Scott too, the Zenith Passage guys. After I like started kind of knowing them, that's come up a lot. Entheos, a lot of the bands that I like have more like gotten to know outside.
We should do some part 2s with certain people too.
I'd love to catch up with a lot of people, dude. There's a lot of people that I had a great time on this thing that I would love to have around too and see what they've been up to, because it doesn't really feel like it, but you're like, oh shit, it's been so long since Obi's been on, like I'd like to talk to Obi again. And
yeah, for sure.
Obviously there's many more, but I'm just saying, like, it's been a lot longer than we think.
After the playing, like the music stuff, like with Bill's lesson last week and stuff, and now that like a lot of people kind of have that technology to like stream live from their DAW or whatever, like it's like good audio, like on the drums and stuff.
Yeah.
See the other drummers. Oh, he's back.
There he is. I was going to say real quick, for all of you that are listening to this that maybe wanted to skip last week's episode, go back to it and watch it, because Bill is a fucking sick dude, a sick player. We had a really good time with him. And yeah, just because you don't recognize the name doesn't mean it isn't going to be a fun Cali Death podcast, He's back.
Sorry, man, my phone died.
It's all good, dude. I
don't have my headphones in now, though. Can you hear it okay?
Yeah, you still sound good.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for making that happen. We held it down while you were gone.
Sorry, man. It looked like it was getting low, and then I just went and looked for my charger, and then all of a sudden it just shuts off. So
it's all good.
Totally.
But yeah, we could start thinking about getting towards home plate here for you. It's late for you, so
sorry, man. I'm about to go a second wind here.
All right, hey, that's all good too. Hey, I am ready for that, and I got that.
We're only 2 hours in, we're at, it's So what's
so
the next tale? Go ahead, Joseph.
Oh, I wanted to ask about the production of It's Hard to Write with a Little Hand, because it just sounded really good to me.
We did that at Lockport with my buddy Doug at Watchman Studio.
Oh, he was mentioned in the chat.
Yeah. He recorded all the Lethargy stuff, all the demos, the record, the singles. Yeah, he did all that stuff. He's done a lot of my band stuff, actually. Shit. Sulaco, he's recorded Calabas stuff, Blurring stuff. Brutal, he did both Brutal Truth records. As well as, that's what I say. His studio has been real busy for the last 30 years, I guess.
How far is Lockport from you?
About an hour.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a little under. It's just outside of Buffalo. It's between here and Buffalo.
Not that. So it's there and back in the day. You're not staying anywhere to go record.
Oh, no.
That's sick. Yeah, dude. What Joseph had mentioned is true. It's like having a place like that within. I mean, we had Castle Ultimate too. That was within an hour from me. At least you guys had to come a little bit further from Santa
What's that? A
Cruz.
studio?
Yeah. It was in when we recorded. It was in Emeryville, so right in between Berkeley and San Francisco.
Zach Oren is the engineer, and now he's at Shark Bite Studios. Like he records the Machine Head guys and stuff. He's from Oakland.
Animosity. Do you ever remember hearing about a band like Animosity?
Yeah,
I know that name.
Yeah,
I never heard him.
Yeah, he recorded a ton of records, and I'm like, oh, dude, Animosity, Odious Mortem,
our band, all that shit too.
Yeah, but he's done so many. He's literally he's basically in Machine Head.
He does like, what's the band that he does? Is it Autopsy? Or no?
Yeah, I think he's doing Autopsy. Yeah,
that's what it is. Okay,
Autopsy from the East Bay.
Mm-hmm.
The OG Autopsy.
Yeah, they're active right now.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, they've been active for a little bit. Loker was jamming with him for a little while there.
Oh, rad.
Sick.
Maybe for a year. Maybe not even that long. Might have been.
Is Loker still working at a record store? I heard he was working at a record store for a while.
No, yeah, he was working at the Record Archive for a little while. It's a giant record store here that's got a bar in it and a good sized stage, and a lot of shows go on there now and stuff like that. Not like metal shows, but more like any other kind of family fun music. I don't know, bluegrass and sometimes some jazz, sometimes some modern rock, sometimes some ska, so a little bit of everything.
Right.
But it's cool. They opened up the bar in there in the stage a few years ago, and it's been real busy, and the store does pretty well, I think. So it's cool. But he's not there anymore. He was there for a little bit. He works he works some corporate job now, like not like wearing nice stuff. Like he works for I think it's like an optics place or something like that. Like a regular 9 to 5, except probably more like 5 to 2. I think he goes in real early.
Yikes.
Yeah.
My next question to you was going to be, with your extensive list of bands that you've worked with, what would be another band that is, deep underground that you've been working with that you feel needs to be heard? All of them, obviously, but I'm saying, pick one that excites you that not a lot of people know about.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the one that I would think of is just my new band, Sully, because it's new sounds and we haven't even really gigged yet.
Yeah.
And I mean, we got our demo up there. It'll be out. It'll be released through that label, I think, in about a month.
I'm excited about that, dude.
And then we're I'm just finishing up writing this one tune right now, and then we got a couple other little bangers that we're putting together, and then we'll have enough material for a full length. I don't know how long a full length is these days, but it'll be like probably 11 or 12 tracks, and a couple of them are kind of shorties,
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that, I mean, I do some solo project stuff. I'm going to be working on that pretty soon. So hopefully and I just usually post that up on my Bandcamp as soon as I'm done with it. I have a solo project that I called for years called BCT. It's kind of corny, fast, slow songs, grindy, a million of them. There's a lot of them could be kind of short. That shit's on my Bandcamp. I'm going to record another one of those. Probably.
Was it you or Ian that sent me some BCT BCT song. I heard one song that I was like, yes.
I'm not sure. It
I
might have
forget
been
what
you.
it was though. I got a few things sent to me in the last week.
Yeah.
I know the Burke Diamond project will stick with me for sure.
Yeah,
But
dude.
BCT,
I'll get your address, man. I'll send you some shit.
oh, dude, I'd love that, dude.
Yeah. I got some discs I can send you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're still into CDs. Right?
I would love to go listen to him with my grandma, dude, and see
Yeah.
if I could be like, check out my friend who's
Damn
who can sing like your man.
That's right.
Sweet.
Well, cool, dude.
How do we hear? So this project that I think you sent it to us in the chat, Anthony. But you're talking.
I did. You're talking about Burke Diamond.
Burke Diamond. How do people find this?
It's on my YouTube.
Okay.
You'll see it like if you go to that link and then just go to whatever page that's from or whatever. It's got like I put some like band rehearsal shit up there for just for reference, pretty much, and then that's where my Burke Diamond shit is. There's a few of those shits on there. They're funny.
Nice. Okay. Cool. I'm like interested in this.
Totally, dude. It's genuinely rad, dude. And it's like it makes you laugh, but not because it's not necessarily a parody. It actually sounds to me like a genuine fan covering.
Oh yeah. I'm not being goofy with him. I mean, he's got a deep voice, and so do I. So I just try and do my best Neil Diamond impression. Like whenever
and
I
guess when
we
I
like
say
to do karaoke, and whenever I do karaoke, it's always Neil Diamond. You know.
And I guess what I'm saying is you would go into that expecting it to be parody because you've listened to Sulaco, you listen to Lethargy and all these other bands, but then you go into it and you're like, wow, this is actually a pleasant listening experience, you know?
Yeah. When I got married in 2008, the wedding favors that we had, I went into the studio and I recorded 7 songs and put them on a CD, and everyone got a CD.
That's rad.
Kind of a cool thing, yeah.
Did you sing some Neil Diamond to her at the wedding too?
No, definitely not. Only a karaoke after a couple pops, you know.
There you go.
Karaoke.
That's rad, dude. Well, I mean, there's so many other things I could ask you. I just want to know another thing too. I know we talked about Wald Hexen, but I just want to know how that came about. How'd you get involved in that? I mean, coming out of everything else that you had done, you wouldn't expect a black metal band to be something that you would dive into. And
yeah.
You know, maybe just a quick, like, what are your black metal roots and all that kind of stuff leading up to that band?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always been into a little bit of black metal, not a lot of the. I don't even know all the terminology for all that shit, so I don't want to act like I do.
Yeah,
but I've always been into Emperor. When In the Night Side Eclipse came out, I really got into that. I think I had got like a promotional CD from a local shop, and obviously the cover was awesome, so that's what drew me in. And then when I listened to it, I was blown away. And as their albums went on, they just are fucking awesome. Eastside is such a great guitar player. But I don't know. I get into a little bit. I like some Marduk. I don't even know if are they considered black metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like a few things here and there. I'd have to look at my CD collection to remember. I like some of one of my favorite records is Dusk in Her Embrace, the Cradle Filth record.
Totally.
That album is especially the drumming, because I'm a big Nick Barker fan. So jamming with Nick with Nuclear Assault was great.
Dude,
he was in Nuclear Assault the same time as you?
Yeah.
Oh,
He joined Nuke in 2016 and played with us for 2 years.
wow.
That's super sick, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I confess my love to him. I told him, he's like, I go, no, dude, you don't understand. I played air drums to that album 1,000,000 fucking times. I sat there and listened to that fucking album, and I learned it, and I played it on guitar. I learned the riffs. I was like, dude, you don't understand. I go, I write a lot of shit and think a lot of shit because of that record. Like, you know,
all the Cradle stuff he did, all the demo stuff he did.
Yeah, the demo. Yes.
Even the Old Man's Child, he did Lock Up.
I love the Lockup shit.
Those Lockup records that he's on.
I was never familiar with the Old Man Child stuff.
He only did one record with him, maybe, and I actually not too familiar with it either. But I was just shouting them out because Old Man's Child is sick.
Yeah.
But the Lockup records were
indeed. I love that shit,
dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Nick Barker, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Love that guy.
Me too.
One other question before we wrap shit is I think from Ian asking about Napalm. Is that another band?
Yeah. Well, it's not another. It was just a tour when I filled in. In 2015. At the end of 14, Shane got a hold of me, Shane Embury, and asked if I could sit in for John, who was just taking over for Mitch, because John couldn't get over into the country, and Napalm was doing a tour in the beginning of 15 with Voivod and a bunch of bands, and that was an amazing text to receive.
Oh, so this is Napalm Death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that day at work, I remember that day at work, I was losing my mind. Yeah. And I immediately messaged Kevin Sharp and said, is this, are you fucking with me right now? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, Shane just asked me about playing with Napalm. And he said, no, man. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about, you know? And I proceeded to chat with Shane. And next thing you know, I had 2 set lists I had to learn. And about, I think, 5 weeks to learn them, maybe. And I flew down to Florida. We had 3 days of rehearsal in a storage unit, and which was pretty wild. Getting to know Danny was awesome, and Barney, and I already known Shane for a little while. Fucking awesome dude. Iceburgers forever. But yeah, so and the first 2 shows were on the fucking boat, the 70,000 tons of metal.
Oh, cool.
And so yeah, it was crazy. I was shitting my pants, man. Yeah. I was fucking nervous as fuck.
How are the accommodations for a band on the ship?
The cabin that I was in, I was sharing with our tour manager. His name's Greg, and it was it wasn't a giant room or anything, but it was comfortable. You
didn't feel claustrophobic or whatever?
No,
I know. I just heard like the workers on the ship, they get the smallest fucking rooms, you know. So I was thinking maybe the entertainment for the tour on the ship, they would get the same kind of deal.
I think we had a door, like a glass door to outside with a little balcony thing.
Oh, nice. You had a balcony and everything. That's what's up.
Yeah.
You definitely.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being in a room with no window or anything. Holy shit, that'd be fucking weird.
I've never done that before either. I've only been on a few cruises, but that would make me feel a little claustrophobic with no window. You know,
it was a good time though. We I played a little rough for the first couple shows. I mean, most of the songs were good, but there was a couple little hiccups, and
Was it an outdoor stage on the ship?
Yeah, the second one, because you play twice. You play once on the way to Jamaica and once on the way back. And the first show was in the belly of the boat, and the second show was on the top deck on the big stage. You know, the one with all the pools and shit in front of it.
Different set lists or same?
Yeah, different set lists. We alternated every night, and there was some songs on both that were the same, and then a few different. It was cool, and as the shows went on, it got nice. It got nice and smooth. First handful of shows had some rough spots, and then it got real good.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's
definitely a great experience.
That tour is still going strong. That cruise.
Oh, that's 70,000 tons. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I actually, I like to wear shorts and sandals. And
we gotta get
metal, dude.
I'm all about flip flops myself. So yeah,
dude, we got another one. We got another fucking flip, dude.
On stage, do you wear flip-flops?
On stage, do you wear flip flops?
I usually no. I usually go barefoot.
Dude.
Even better, dude.
In the summer.
Yes,
because
my kind of man, guys.
Flip flops, man, you'll fucking slip right out. I tried doing that before. I'd spill beer in my flip flop. You sweat in your flop. You fucking fall out of your flop.
Sweat in your flop.
You don't want to fall out of your flop.
No, I am not falling out of my flop again.
Hashtag don't fall out of your flop.
Fuck your flop.
That's fucking rad, dude. Well, I am very excited to hear what's going to happen with you and Wald Hection, because I am a black metal fan, and I'm excited to see what you can add to that, Yeah,
it's going to be a little different than any of the stuff they recorded, because like I said, I'm the new drummer. I don't play like Dan did. And Dan's got some fast feet, and he's got a right hand on him.
Yeah.
And then they had their old singer too. So the new stuff, I got 8 songs under my belt right now, and we're going to be recording, and I'll send you a link as soon as we get something.
Dude, please do. I'd love to hear it, dude.
Fuck yeah, man.
Well, this has been super, super sick, dude. Erik, you're a rad dude.
Dude, it's been great meeting you guys. I really appreciate the plugs, man. It's fucking awesome. This shit is everything to me. So I mean, like we talked about earlier, man, it's all about the riffs, dude. And metal's got a lot of love. So it's a beautiful thing. It's been good to meet you guys.
No doubt, dude. And you are definitely a quality riff machine, brother.
Thanks, man.
And I always will put my faith and trust in everything that you do from this point forward, because everything you've done since back before this I've backed it all, dude. So,
well, now you're gonna just be getting links from me whenever I got some garbage to spill. So
dump it all on me, dude. Dump all the garbage
in advance.
No, dude, please. I will accept all the garbage, dude. Give it to me.
Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to Anomalous, who just announced that they're
shit, yeah, dude. I know it's out of nowhere, but at the same time, I back it. Anomalous is back, y'all.
Nice work, Anomalous.
Yes,
dude. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the fucking the grind, dude. And I would love to do an episode with all of them. I'd love to have Tim on. I'd love to have now new addition Sam Lanyon. Shout out Sam Lanyon. We need to talk to all those guys and see what they've been up to since the last time they've been on the show. So, yeah, I'm excited about that for sure. Aloha.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, nice to fucking hang tonight. Happy 420, guys.
Happy 420. I hope everybody
leave some cookies out for Snoop Dogg.
Oh, is that the thing?
Oh my God. That would be so funny if that was the thing.
I've seen it multiple years in a row now. So I feel like it's the thing now.
Oh yeah, who are we rating? Thanks, Ian. Are we rating anybody? Do we know how to do that?
No, we don't know how to do that.
Joel's the one who almost knows how to do that.
Give us instructions in the chat, quick.
No, fuck.
That's not gonna happen.
No. Sorry.
I guess we're not raiding this week, guys. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
just
The
you raid?
gorilla is our raider, and that only happens like half the time when we raid. So we're trying our best over here, guys. We love you. Technology sucks. And
Yeah, sorry guys. I suck.
no, I wasn't saying that about you. I was just saying that about us.
That's all right.
because
I'll
we
accept
don't know
it
how to
though.
raid. I swear it wasn't geared towards you whatsoever, dude.
No, man.
That was
That's
all good. Those things
busted.
happen with live shows, dude. We've had it before. It's just you gotta wing it, and we did.
Yeah.
We didn't
We
just
got
stare at the screen while we were waiting for you to come back. Like,
Yeah, it was cool.
No, it's all good. We got it. We made it happen. All right, let's do the plugs one more time, dude. Real quick. Battle Forge Coffee. Buy your coffee there because that's the homies and we love them. Generator rehearsalstudios.com in between LA, San Diego. Rehearse there. The homies will help you out. Cali Death Podcast.bigcartel.com for a couple of t-shirts. 2 different versions. That is where we get. That's where we and if you want to get a fucking nice beard like that, dude, like you got the nice like salt and pepper situation. You know, I'm always I only have a few grays. But yours like overlap enough to where it's like you got the nice salt and pepper situation where it's totally you can rock it, dude.
I think the light is making it a little lighter. Either that or the weed.
Oh yeah, the tours. Archaic on tour starting at I forget what date you said, Joseph. Sorry.
May 11th in Santa Cruz. And then Abyss Tour, Eastern US, June 1st through June 16th, featuring the last of Lucy and Discordia.
Oh, busted.
Busted. All right, should I roll the outro?
Oh yeah, one more time. Chicago Domination Festival. This very soon we're going to be having an official thing on the social media, and then we are going to mention when we come on the show, and then we will really have a thing that you can fill out and get a ticket.
Get it.
Promise.
All
I
right.
promise. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great time with your life.